We're just gonna roll for a second or two. We're a little late, but let's just take a moment and... Are you ready to do this?
I'm ready to do it.
Oops. So the speakers should be facing the microphone.
Perfect. And you got the timer? Set it for 45 minutes.
We're gonna just watch the thing come up for 45 minutes.
I mean, 15 minutes.
Okay. We were talking about entering, sitting, and entering.
Yes.
Do you remember? Okay.
Ready?
Let's go. We're gonna slate, and then we're gonna step out, and then we're gonna sit.
I don't want to sit. That's part of the discussion. I think we should talk about it.
Well, if we do sit, we'll have it.
Okay, let's try it. Let's do it.
And we can decide if we like it or not. Otherwise, we're sitting, right? Well, that's a no. Well, we're talking about it now on camera.
Right.
You're gonna wear your glasses?
I was.
Okay.
I'm trying a different look right now.
All right. I'm gonna wear my hat.
It's going to distract from the hairdo.
I like that the table's empty when the graphic says Yapping with Teri and Dave, but I also like that we're talking as it starts.
Yeah, me too.
So,
should we slate anytime soon?
here we go. We're gonna slate. Well, no, we're not talking while we slate. And let's pizzazz up that frickin' entry. I feel like we're a little sleepy.
Woohoo! Woo!
Oh, and we get a clap. All right, here we go. Right? Okay. And the music's playing, right? So
Right.
that's funny. We have our intro music.
Yeah, hey, welcome to the show. Thank you. Thank you.
Here we are.
All right, you are yapping with Teri and Boner
Hello.
tonight. Here we are at the table.
Again, at last, finally. This
is season 1, episode 2.
There you go.
Where we will be discussing what we did in last week's show, where we recorded and filmed our very first episode. So now
hopefully that's not all we're talking about.
Okay.
Oh, see, this is what we were
That's
gonna,
the synopsis.
one of the things we have to talk about is, and we need to sit down into the frame, is because I need like a Mr. Rogers moment to take off my hat. Like, hey, we just arrived. We just got off the trolley.
Okay, so let's try it now.
No, okay, wait. Oh, okay. So
yeah,
we're gonna
go off
okay,
stage
we're gonna see
just
if
so
it
we have
looks.
it, because if we like it, we'll use it.
And if we actually post this finally, and you can tell us if
Okay,
it looks
ready?
stupid or not. We're gonna leave and pretend that the show just started. We gotta hit audience. Okay, here we go. All right. So, no, not too far. Just right there.
Okay.
We're not leaving the room.
Okay.
We're just gonna and get over there and come in from this
God,
side.
you're so bossy. Hurry up.
Here we are. Oh, I took off my hat. All right.
All right, so tonight you are going to be watching season 1, episode 2. See, that's what I said in the first entry, so I had to repeat it.
Maybe we don't
again.
have to like give the number.
Maybe not.
I mean,
Okay.
that way you don't have to think. You don't have to remember numbers after we've had a cocktail.
Well, okay, there
It
we
was
go.
just a suggestion.
So, about last week.
Well, last week, like this week, we actually had a false start and a restart. So that seems to be part of our modus operandi. I'm just
I
saying.
do like your new glasses.
You noticed.
Yeah, they're nice.
better.
The way she shaped them around your head. Bet you didn't do them tighter.
They were tighter. I had to like, open them up a little bit. No, they're finally good. I'm really actually liking the look and the style. And you're wearing glasses.
I'm wearing
this
glasses
week.
too today. I decided to go for it.
Do you actually need them, or is it like one of those fake kids who wear glasses because they want to be in there? Like glasses are cool.
I really need
them. Do you know how hard I had to work to wear glasses, and then to have people who don't wear them and then put them on? It's sort of like fuckers.
That's funny. Well, I'm sort of doing both of those things. I do need them for distance, like for short, I really can't, but they're cute, so I'm just gonna feel for the, yeah.
I guess they like them. Is that what you're like?
So anyway, so I guess in a way I'm just using them for show. because I'm using them to distract from the hairdo today.
Oh, you're disappointed with your hair, which
I'm
we're not going to point out.
I'm just saying that it's, we'll focus on the glasses tonight.
I'm certainly glad I don't really have to worry about my hair too much, which is not true because when this all starts growing a lot, the gray is much more apparent. I sort of look.
Oh, yeah.
It ages me greatly when you see all the gray.
I think gray
flourishing.
does in general. I'm probably going to color my hair even if it kills me.
I could go to the trouble of doing that, but then I still have the baldingness going on, and then I don't like the way so it's just like.
Well, you usually shave. What happened? Did you stay in bed all day?
No, I don't usually shave. The shaving is more unusual anymore.
See, what do you do?
Only when it really makes me look old. You're saying that I already look old? No, I meant when it's a little bit further along.
I didn't say that.
I was thinking that when it's longer than it is, I look
funny.
old. It definitely ages one to have long hair. So we were going to talk about what we did to last week's episode, which is, and whoever's watching this or hearing it won't really know yet. Well, maybe they've heard it, but so there are two different versions of it. There's the extended beginning, where the opening argument starts, and then there's the other intro where we're at the tail end of said argument difference, which is a really quickie one.
Yeah.
But what did you think? And then I'm also cursing. I'm saying fucking, and I'm like really mean.
Good.
But you're really not paying attention.
Documented.
But you're really not paying attention. It's like if you were walking out in front of a bus, would I let you walk, or would I, hey, fucking wake up? Would I be allowed to be?
Yeah, you'd find some reason to yell at me.
But I thought about it. I'm like, wow, could I be that crass with others? And I have been.
Well, yeah, luckily we have many of them documented in historical documents that someday I would like to have revealed. I'm going to stuff them away in a trunk.
Which is the ultimate purpose of doing this. So, what did you think?
Well, I liked the first one best.
The abbreviated one where I'm not.
Yeah, where I'm apologizing. Actually, the swearing didn't bother me at all. It was me sitting down in the chair.
I loved it.
That
No, there's so much to that.
That bugged me.
You're so absent-minded, and I am so. It's all profiled, and you can totally tell what's going on. At least I can, because it's part of it. But I think it's really was like sort of separating myself from it as a director, editor, kind of going, wow, I really can sense that he's annoyed with her, and she's not listening to him, and he knows that she's not listening to him. Like, there's no communication, and he's starting to, lose it. Like, it's all profile, and there's just a hint of our eyes, and yet you can tell you're distracted by a million things, and I'm trying to, discuss what's at hand. And, it's totally typical.
But yet, the other one, with the apology and the way you entered it into the scene, it moves quickly, and it goes right through the show. I liked your first edit. I thought it was really nice. And
that was the only edited part of it. And then also the second one, I took that edge vignette off, and I pumped the color just a tad. And I did a better, what they call, coding that makes it ready for the internet.
Can you edit my butt in it?
You want?
Because I'm sure you want to sit around and look at my butt.
You want your butt in it? I mean, your butt's not in it.
I don't want my butt in it unless it's edited.
I think they want your butt. Everybody wants your.
It's like
butt.
my animated character you made for me is perfect, dreamy.
There's no.
She has big boobs, no butt.
She has big boobs.
Well, she has. She's not flat.
No.
Anyway, she's cute. So, what are your thoughts on those two? If you could pick one, which one would you pick?
I agree with you on both points. I like that the first one is pretty revealing and exposed. I like that it ultimately sets the tone of who we are in so many ways. I like that it starts on kind of a sharp note, but we get to laughing with each other right away. When you hit the sound effect, it's gets us going. You know, and this little ditty right here, if we set this up right now, we could actually use this as the intro to that. We could talk about, here's the intro we chose. Bam. And now we could cut this right here.
We could have my brain in a time warp right now.
I just looked
like,
at
where am I?
Maybe we can cut it. I was thinking that what we just talked about was really is the intro to that one, not the new episode.
Ah, interesting.
So now we're discussing.
I don't know. I say as long as they get published, let's publish
Let's
something.
just get something up there.
Yeah.
And I meant to bring that up as a possible ideas to intro. So, well, there was a lot of chat. Anyway, so
I just looked at my, did some more maneuvering on my YouTube channel today and got my front page access how I wanted it to look, to appear to visiting YouTubers or to repeat YouTubers. They give you that option. So I cleaned it up. I didn't like the selection I had there prior. So there's room for one more thumbnail, and I want it to be our show.
Oh.
I think it'd be fun right there on the front page. And the fact that it is a little crass is nice. It's our human side. This is our design side.
I know that when people, all four of you who know me,
are you talking about me and four other personalities? Is that
no,
what you just meant?
you and three other people. I do know other people, but there's only three of them. And I'm certainly not posting this anywhere fast, right? So whoever's going to see this is going to see how. Well, it's why people. That's why I've probably lost a couple of clients here and there, or why children are afraid of me because I'm very blunt, and I don't mind. I like to curse a little here and there.
Yeah, honest friends are the
But
best
it's
friends,
just I'm kind of harsh, and I don't mind that. I like that honesty about it. Where do we?
Yeah. Okay.
Am I answering the question?
Yeah.
Are we still talking about that? Open?
Oh, we were talking about publishing this and YouTube channel and all of that.
Right. Are we gonna? Which way are we gonna publish it?
Yeah. So, I'd like to go for it.
I think if the first episode is me,
let's publish them both.
Cursing at you, let there be a controversy of it. I mean, I don't want to publish them both. That's diluting the hits. But I pick one. I'm committed to picking one ultimately, and letting people but they get to hear us chat about it.
It'd be kind of fun to put it out to the public to let them pick which one they like the best.
There's no public.
I've had 11,000 views already.
I have had 2 million views at least on multiple videos. I just looked up the Hulu video to go back to that whole thing, and it's had now another 125,000 plus views since we last chatted, and has earned no income.
Well,
but just to make a point that we could have a lot of views and still yet, I just want to not. I will put this one out, and I think we do the cursing one, and that's the beginning. And it just shows everybody who I am and who you are.
I'm going to want to watch it again. When this is over, we'll watch it one more time.
And now
we will watch it again.
And now what? So let's talk about something else. Or is that this topic? Or we'll stop this here, and then we'll maybe think of another topic.
Yeah, let's wrap it up. What are we thinking about for next week? Honestly, that's a good idea.
Well, we didn't even think about anything for this week. I came in and we talked about something we did last week.
Let's talk about how much more work you're going to do.
This is the end of this.
It's not 15 minutes yet.
And a half minutes. Now hold me to the wall against that. Make me feel shitty about that. Fight about that.
Make you
make
feel
a fight
anyway.
about that. Make a fight about
You're
that.
You're totally in control of your own feelings. I hate it when people say that to me.
We didn't do the clap or anything. I just cut us off.
Okay, yeah. So I thought that we were only going to record for 15 minutes. That was it. The show we started. A quarter till we record for 15 minutes. And there we go. I thought we agreed that we were going to talk about which show we were going to pick next to upload, which we just did, and it took almost 15 minutes. So, I'm confused.
There's nothing to. I just don't think there's anything to be confused about.
We're going to record for another 15 minutes. Is that what we're going to do? A new segment about this week's topic, which is what?
God.
How about maybe we should make this week's current topic about anger management? We can get out the phone book and see who is currently employed providing anger management services.
I can think of a couple ways to manage my anger. Oh dear.
Okay, so if I throw out a current topic, I would talk about Bruce Jenner, who is now Kaitlin. That's a current topic, but obviously not popular enough because Jeremy hadn't heard about it. And he watches a zillion hours of TV.
Maybe it's not the kind of show, program, or thought thing that he would like tune into. Like he didn't hear, like it may have been said, but it's not like in his current. So that means that whatever we have to do here, it has to be published now. And you know, like we didn't even open up this segment with any. I don't. It's all. So, I guess what are your thoughts about it? We have to publish this, like it has to be timely.
Well, I would agree.
You would agree that Bruce needed
that it has to be
a
published
sex
timely.
change?
No, I think people should do whatever they want to do. I don't have any problem with that. Did he look beautiful as a woman? I think he looks like I want to look like that on the cover of Vanity Fair. So, would I want to do a photo shoot like that? Yes.
What do you mean by that and yes and...
Well, he did this beautiful photo shoot. It was like every
I've
girl's
seen
dream.
I've saw it. Yeah, but what is your point about that?
That's all I have to say about that whole topic. I don't have an opinion about him becoming a woman.
So your comment is about the photo shoot was awesome?
Yes. Yes. Oprah's got the right idea. She puts herself on every cover. I mean, if you're going to live the dream, live the dream. She's not shy about it. So she's her own model. She's all over the magazines. And she's living her life to the fullest while she's here.
Are you saying that Oprah is a transsexual?
No, I'm saying that Oprah has dominated her marketing with herself. And that's kind of the avenue I want to go, which ties to Bruce Jenner's photo shoot. I would love to have a photo shoot like that. I had that last photo shoot.
Well,
which was
anybody
really
would
fun.
be beautiful in that kind of.
Well, that's what I mean.
I mean,
Anybody can make me beautiful in.
I've met a number of old, transsexuals who do not look that pretty, but would if they had that photographer and that editing company.
Exactly.
And, the creative empire.
So if Bruce
So that's
Jenner,
your takeaway from the Bruce Jenner story.
Yeah, what's your takeaway?
Well, more power to her. It is a two-edged sword. You know what you're talking about? I see as it's a great for Bruce and a high profile, and that's what multi-million-dollar industry can buy you. But there's a lot of transsexuals out there who don't have an entourage of nursemaids grooming them through life. They live, a much more challenging life. They're trying to be a barista or walk down the street or just be normal, and that's not. They don't get that space.
And I have to say, when I first opened my shoe store, I did have a bunch of just coming out transsexuals. Going from a man to a woman, is that a transsexual?
That depends on what you're thinking.
Converting themselves from a man to a woman.
Well, yeah, if they're actually going through a process, yeah.
Or just trying to they want to be a woman all the time.
Yeah.
And they were just, they were kind of young at the time, so they were just getting into it, and they were very confused. You could tell. I mean, just their lives were confused. They're trying to find themselves and work stuff out, and it was interesting. That was an interesting perspective on that.
The confusing part of it is that there's nothing out there that reinforces that
you're
life,
kind of alone
that
swimming
mind,
around
that beingness,
and
that's the
like
one thing.
11 years ago.
Bruce's story does that, but also it's a luxury story. It's way luxurious. It's Vanity Fair. It's way luxurious, but it's aspirational. It's saying that, wow, that could happen. That could be me if somebody out there, needed that kind of fun. There was nothing like that before. I mean, that's not true. Time Magazine and others have had TGs on it, but there's, I think that it's more than just the fashion statement ultimately, but it's a luxury. He's being so nursed through this process.
Right. Well,
I'm not saying it's easy. God, no.
You brought something to mind, which is being what that industry does to a person. For instance, when I worked at Chanel, and I first started working there, their costume jewelry looked like costume jewelry, like paint on metal brooches for $550, right? And after I worked there for long enough, I started to covet them like others. It was crazy. It changes your brain. You're surrounded by luxury and just engulfed in it. I mean, it was a closed boutique with all mirrors, shag carpet that's cleaned every Saturday. I mean, it was just so luxury. It changes your brain.
They actually clean their carpet every
Saturday. Which takes me to Bruce Jenner. And I think that with the Kardashians being, their careers blossomed, that being surrounded by all of that femaleness, the industry making these women female, I could see how it could rub off on a man.
Well, I don't know what you mean by that. He was that before he met them.
You think so?
It's a fact.
See, I guess that's what I'm saying.
He talks about having this issue with his first wife.
I didn't know that.
So his story goes way back. You should actually watch the interview of him with Diane Sawyer. It's actually really insightful.
I should. I think that would be insightful.
If you're interested in this story. But no, he was back in the 80s. Before he ever met the Kardashians, he was already wrestling with it. He was wearing women's clothes when he was a little boy. So he's got it. It's not something that rubs off on you.
Got it. Well, I got that from your tone of voice that I had,
That's, I almost want to just keep addressing that topic right
Don't, okay?
Well, if you were misunderstood, you would want it to be understood.
Miseducated. I now am educated better.
Well, there was a double miseducation. It's not just Bruce's history.
Oh, great. Let's expand on that.
All right, so we won't have a discussion about intellectual things. Tell me what else you want to talk about.
I picked that one. You tell me what you want to talk about.
I want to talk about how people consider that things rub off on them. But that's too awkward and too deep. I don't want to talk about, I don't know what I want to talk about. Pain and suffering in the world.
I don't want to talk about that. Wait.
We should just get rid of that, all these other sound effects, and just have that right smack in the middle of it.
Just super depressing, melancholy.
I've been listening to a lot of podcasts. I listened to a podcast, Mark Maron again, and His is What the Fuck, and if you can't get past his intro, which he plays every time, except for this one that I just listened to, you can't appreciate how deep and profound he is, and yet funny. And he did an interview with Robin Williams, and by the end of it, they were talking about Robin Williams is actually on his own little loop inside in the conversation about whether or not he should kill himself.
Oh, isn't that interesting?
And I don't recall, like, the interview may have been done in like 2010 or something like that, so quite a bit before he actually did kill himself. But it was really amazing, and yet, you know, nothing to be afraid of, to listen to, and taken kind of lightly. But there were two alcoholics who were trying to be normal comedians who had a good life, and Robin Williams obviously having a great, amazing experience, still had all these issues.
Who is sawing at this time at night?
Or is that sleeping?
God, this is one of the effects of being downtown.
So hey, that's the end of our stumbled double segmented intro that in our second episode. Whatever.
I have to say it's pretty typical. There's usually a fight.
Fighting, yay for fighting. So, well, you know, hopefully we'll stitch these things together better.
Yeah, well, I like the topic. We picked a current topic. We're going to publish it. And we're going to keep on going. And maybe somebody will find what we say interesting. I have found on my YouTube channel, there are a couple of real assholes out there. And they're men. And they're men that just want to say whatever they want to say, but not realizing that I have an approved by only comment section. So, you know, what's the point in being a jerk? I saw some girl's YouTube channel once, and she wrote in it specifically, this is for entertainment purposes. You know, we're putting something out there. I'm not asking for your input. Unless I say, give me your input.
Well, some people think that by putting yourself on the internet, you're asking for input.
Yeah, some people assume, but assuming makes an ass out of you.
I think it's fascinating. It's just a matter of not getting caught up in. Well, we are at 14 more minutes-ish. See, and we talked about actually this. Not 15, but doing longer. We were our original idea was 15 minutes of recording, but we talked about doing it longer. You yourself have brought up going longer, and we talked about going longer and making them at least 20 minutes and going longer and
I recall
kind
that.
of thing. So
now
this has some weird hiccup intermission that let us have an argument. We come back to an argument, which is okay. That's it. You'll see that the opening segment where I'm cussing at you from the get-go is appropriate. We're keeping it. No double issues, episodes, whatever. Maybe the other one will bleed out in the future, but we're going to do the first one, the argument. So
you just can't make that call on your own.
Yes,
this has to be a popular vote.
I can make that a call.
No, you cannot, Mr. Commando. It is going to be this way.
I can't hear you.
Wait, we should
is that your
like
butt calling, or are you just...
We should pretend like we're hitting the saw button.
That's the end.
Okay.